Da da da. It is streaming. Hello, those who can hear me. I don't know why it's saying that, but one more time. I'm fixing the Facebook hosting. Whatever, Facebook's being weird. I might have to adjust my camera, but it is posted. Anyways, we can get this started with this bad camera view. The lights are not that good. Let's see what happens if I turn off. Let's see how this works. Might move the camera down. Alright, well, just to start us off. About to play 7th continent. Nothing is set up. All the card decks are here. Oh, I think I know what the problem is. Did that help any? Maybe a little, but it's like super dark in here. But the camera is doing brightness. That's what I'm going to have to do. Switch sides. Alright. So here's all the cards. I have not set up the game so you can see how it's set up. But this is the whole game right here. Which camera tilt. This is the whole game right here. So what we're going to do to start off is pick a character. There are 6, 7 characters. So I'm going to randomly pick one. Not looking. I'm going to be Dmitry Gorchov. And you pick a clue. I'm going to do the Voracious Goddess. It's kind of like they say, like to do it if you're a beginner, like the first time playing. Take the corresponding curse card. There are 4 generic Death is Lurking curse cards. Find my character. My character looks like that. Find his specialty cards. His special skill cards. There's 5 of them. And we have 1 satchel journal, which tells us how many cards we can carry. Alright, to further set this up, take all 35 skill cards, and we mix in these curse cards that have the same back, and these cards with the same back, all together. So, if you're not familiar with 7th Continent, this is a game where you're kind of trapped on a continent. Well, you're cursed. You went to this continent once before, and you're cursed, and you're going back to try to get rid of the curse. And you're trying to survive. It's definitely survival, because these cards, not only are they skill cards, but this is kind of like your life force energy. So what I mean by that is that if you run out of these cards, there's a good chance. So there's a discard pile here, and there's a draw pile. Once these are all gone, everything in your discard pile is shuffled into a deck, and whenever you draw one of those curse cards with a skull on it, you instantly lose. Just straight up lose. I'm not going to play easy mode, which gives you kind of like resets. I'm going to just for this one, I'm going to do regular. Story behind my guy. Dimitri's not fond of talking about his past or what drives him. I guess we should stop there. Rumor has it he escaped from the Peter and Paul Fortress in St. Petersburg, where he's been held for anarchist activities and propaganda. He is thought to have joined the expedition as a security expert in order to leave his troubled past behind. The scars that covered his body and the way he screams when he wakes up in the morning say more about what he went through and his ability to face danger than he ever would. So every character has special abilities. Mine is when I get a red hand, which I think most people's character card has a red hand. But when you get a red hand state, typically it's injury. You may discard one card with the keyword aggressiveness. Down at the bottom there'll be keywords. This says Explorer. From your hand or your inventory in order to remove the X on the blue. We'll go over that. And then it seems like everybody has the ability to have -1 blue when moving from one space to another. We're moving one space into a space with an explorer or fire figure. But our clue, or campaign, I don't know how you want to say it, is called the Voracious Goddess. It has this cool map on it. Focus. There we go. I don't know what that 7+ means. Alright, here's the thing it says. I mean, theoretically, we're ready to start. I mean, we are ready to start, and you'll see how easy this is. The hardest part is just picking a character and building this deck. Since you returned from that expedition, because you went on an expedition. Since you returned from that expedition, the vision of a strange, gloomy idol that seems to be calling you has been haunting your nights. The piercing cries of a few seagulls pull you out of a deep slumber. They sound so strange, as though they are laughing. You try your best to understand. Where on earth are you? How did you end up in this place? Your memories are clouded, and you seem unable to remember. While sifting through your journal, hey look, a journal and satchel. Anyways, while sifting through your journal, you come across a handwritten sheet upon which that looks like a route was drawn, along with several statues. As it so happens, one of the statues looks exactly like the idol from your dreams. And that's the map they're talking about. Everybody has a satchel. It tells you how many cards you can have depending on how many players you're playing with. Since I'm playing with one player, I can have a total of 5 blue skill cards and 4 items, and the items typically are dice, which I need to grab the dice. I have this game in 2 places. But here's the dice. There's no dice rolling, so those are just simply markers to see how much stats you have. But the bottom of the card says begin adventure by putting card 10 into play. So we go through here, we look for 10. Dun, dun. Alright, so there is a 10 and a 10 gold. Some cards have the gold. You always use the green first. And some of the cards, I forgot my character. My character has a stick. They're so tiny. Anyways, character has a stick, and every player gets a fire and a stick, or not a stick, a character. So these green cards, these are location cards. They also have like descriptions written on them on one side before you flip them over. This one says, thick columns of yellowish smoke rise up from cracks in the volcanic rock. To the east, the peaks of a rocky cliff look down, mocking the ocean below. So, I will probably adjust the camera. Focusing is hard. I will move the camera eventually. Alright, so we'll just go back. So this is what a typical card looks like. The card displays what actions you can do on your turn. As I'm not very good at this screen. Let's try moving this down here. Alright. I'm adjusting my... What? Why is it... Alright, so the Roman numerals, those are like fog that you put down that covers the future terrain. All these yellow squares you see, those are the actions you can take on that square. Not yellow, white. This is the result. Any white box like that, that's the result. Anything with a black outline like that, those are available actions. Also, as I said, we're putting down this fog of war. These are all random, and they're Roman numerals 1 through 10, so we randomly put those there. Put a character there. We don't have a fire yet, so we are ready to begin, because we're set up. We are set up to play this game. As you mess with the camera. So, how turn works, it's super simple. Basically, one person goes, they do an action, and then they can either do another action, or they can give their action to another person, and then somebody else goes. So it's like you just take actions, but theoretically you're allowed to kind of do 2 actions in a row. So it's kind of weird, but it works out if you're doing single player or solo, because you just do it. Okay. Should be autofocusing, so I apologize about this. Anyways, so, alright, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go north to here. So, actually, yes. I'll go north to here. So my action is this one. It's a, this is called a Pathfind Escape thing. Alright, so you'll see a bunch of these symbols here, and what this means is that is your action, your skill, your action deck, the blue cards that we shuffled. So there's 35, we added 10 more, so there's 45 total. This means that number is how many cards you have to draw. When it says a plus, that means you can go higher. If there's a lock on it, it means you have to draw that many. That tells the minimum number of cards, and then the star is how many stars you have to get in order to succeed in doing that action. This is 0 and 0, so you get to look at it for free. Since you automatically succeed, you do the action, which is in this the white kind of fuzz bar. It just says flip this card. Flip it. Hot stuff. There are fumaroles between you and your destination. You notice that the most numerous ones spurt their gas less frequently. Take card 45 and apply consequences A if you decide to walk on yellow holes, and B if you decide to walk on the white holes. So, I go look for card 45. I found 45. And it says, you pause, watching the pattern of venting steam. Trying to time your run, you dash towards the... I'm going to go B this time. So, this icon top here means it's temporary. Once it's done, you put it away. We'll go over that once we do that. But flip over. It says, all right, I want B. So flip it over the other side, see? 2%. B. White ringed holes. The scalding steam does not shoot from the ground again until you were well clear. Take 1003 card. So, that had a thing. So I take a 003 card. Those are the good cards. So I've played. This is my 3rd time playing it. So, a moment from your previous expedition comes to mind. Viho, your group's giant pathfinder, had an amazing ability to spot paths that were otherwise unreachable. I get experience point. So whenever it says take 003, those are all experience points. There are multiples of certain cards, so there are more than one. More of these. I don't know if there's more than 145, but some cards have multiples. The satchel, one thing I didn't point out is store all those cards under this card. So this is one of those, and it doesn't take any space in my inventory. Same with the clue of the Voracious Goddess. So this just goes underneath this card kind of way. Alright, so these cards they get put. So if it's an action deck card, these get put in discard. I don't know if this is going to be in future ones, but this is a little cardboard cutout, silly, cool thing that they have. But if it is a fog card or one of these cards, it goes into this handy-dandy pass tab. And it says, you may lay this divider next to the board and use it to store any discarded adventure explorations during the game. But it's just easy, just put it there. There's also banished cards, and they'll never come back. And the save thing, because you're supposed to be able to drop out anytime you want. But, alright, so that fog thing is done. And if you look here, it says 007. So that means since the fog, we've looked through the fog, we've experienced it, haven't used an action, but we get to pull out a card 7. Which says, further to the north, the terrain slopes steadily down to the water. So, that's our new card. If we're there, there is an action of, what is it, map making? Go see, investigate. If we succeed, we flip 18. There is that is spot and observe. We flip over 11 if we succeed, and that's movement. So, doing that doesn't move you there. But if I want to move there, I have to discard at least one card, because it focus, there we go. One card and get no successes. So typically movement costs 1. So I am going to do that. I am going to discard, sorry about the camera going crazy. I'm going to discard 1. And move here. So I'm here. Ta-da! So my first action was to do the fog ward. My second action is move. Theoretically, if I was playing with other people, they would jump in and do something. But I'm not, so I'm going to do this, which requires no cards, and I just take, and no successes, so I instantly take number 11. Alright, this one says, if there is a icon in your satchel card, blah 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 blah. So there are, when I say blah blah blah, there is equal to 11 plus that number. So I guess that's what this thing down below here. That's it's a different symbol, but it's plus 7. So if this was the same symbol, I could take card 16. So it's kind of interesting how they have that, where like sometimes you'll go to that number, or you can go to a different number based on the cards you have. So I don't have that, so I just flip this over. So this stands for a permanent thing. And when you see this icon, when it's grayed out like that, that means I can't take that action here on the bay anymore. It just means, instead of that, I have this action. And this says, a man is lying face down among the rocks. Approaching closer, you notice his clothes are torn and tattered, and his body is swollen and puffy. Parts of the body are mutilated, and the man's skin bulges with what looks like large eggs. Alright, so I can use one action card to investigate, and if I succeed, which it just succeeds, I take card 31 and return this. When it says return this, it means I just put it back in the box, so basically somebody else could find it. So how they say return is, put a card back in its place in the original deck, in the adventure cards, blah blah blah. So I will spend one card to do that. Because those are my only actions here on here would be to travel, do that, or now do this action. So I spent one card, and I return this and grab card 31. So this is card 11, I return 11 and grab 31. 30, 30, 31. Giant monster comes out and kills me. Pretty close. As you lean down to search the corpse, a disgusting creature jumps out of the water and lunges at you. It does not seem to like the idea of you staying near its eggs. So, when it says red, I have to fight it. And so I have to draw at least 2 cards and get 6 successes. We haven't gone over successes, but it doesn't look good for me. There is player death, but I don't think you can die for monsters. At least not that I'm aware of. But I'm going to choose to draw, it's early on, I'm going to draw 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so how you do this. So the first, how you do action, you decide if you're going to use any items, which I'm not using. You determine the cost and how many successes. You draw as many cards as you like, and then you reveal the cards and count full stars. By full stars, I'll lay these out. Can I count these up? No, that's not good. Not good at all. I failed. So you just look at part of the cards, and you see some of these cards have stars on the inside, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I missed it by 1. I'm a little confused by that 7. It's kind of like a separate star, but it hasn't come into play too much, so I'm not too worried about it. All right, so yeah, see, you see all this. I failed. Now, before you do failure and all that stuff, the next step is if there's any skill cards there, which skill cards have the blue hands, you're allowed to take 1 from the results. So I could take this card that gives me another action, which choose 1 card from discard pile and add it to your hand. Then discard this. I don't care about that one. I got a camouflage outfit. This, you can use this action to get 3 cards and no success to get a camouflage, which will help you with hunting, if there's a hunting action on the board, or stealthing. You get 2 stars in this, and it has 3 uses. If you're on a place with vine or leaves, it cuts down the cost of actions to make it. Fire making kit, I will probably take that, so we'll look at it later. Blowpipe, it just helps you hunting. You've got 3 uses. If you have a bamboo place, it's cheaper. War paint helps with attacking and what's it called? Hunting, and that's stealth. So sometimes it lets you lower the cost of a card, how many cards you draw. And maybe you have a bunch of items or passive abilities that helps you with the stars, so it's not as big a deal. Woven basket, when this is in your inventory, the item that it is part of may contain up to 3 additional items. You can do attachments and add 2 cards together to make them stronger. I haven't dove into that much recently because I haven't really needed it. But I didn't fully understand that. But I'm going to take the fire card, which lets you put a fire token on the board, and it stays on that train for good until like the board gets erased. It takes 2 or 1, and when you do this action, you have to use 2 actions to create. So it takes a lot of actions, but you get a fire, and it'll help you with eating and getting your cards back, because you need to eat. This is a survival game. Alright, so I failed. So now we do the consequences. So I'm keeping this, so this is... And I haven't built it, so I don't get the 1 use. Alright, consequence. After getting bitten repeatedly, you run away. Each involved character takes a 104. So, 104s are bad. I believe they are damage. Alright, 104. Superficial burn, deep cut, or fractured bone. Injuries on the 7th continent can be extremely life-threatening. I got an injury, so red hand. I didn't get the blue thing, so I'm good. For an action, using 2 guards, and if I get success, I get to return this. Failure. Excuse me. Failure, something bad happens. I think I like become bleeding or something. Then, temporary, this goes into the past. Because it does not say, unless it says returned after you, and if it has that hourglass, unless it says return, everything goes into the past. So, I could look at that thing again. Do I want to? Sure, let's go back. Because it doesn't take an action to go back to the 11th spot and look at it. Once again, the same thing, blah, blah, blah. Read it, because it just says return this. So now I'm going to explore again. Now there's more than one 31 card, and you saw that I put the other 31 card away. So here's another 31 card. Oh, I had to spend one action card. And it was my first curse. Now, curses don't matter, but had I already gone through the deck and I had to reshuffle the discard, that would have ended the game. But, yes. So this 31 says, the waves violently pound the rocks, splashing your face in sea spray. You inch towards the body along the slippery rocks, trying your best not to fall into the water. This gets rid of the eyeball thing again, and it says, I can use the balance, giving me a new option of failure. So I need 3 successes to do this. What is this? Tightrope? What is it called? Seesaw? Balance jump. So if I can jump to the body, that's where I'm trying to go. Alright, so I'm going to use 3 cards because I want to succeed. Whew, good thing. So there is an example you didn't see because I don't have the camera. But I got a curse and 3 stars, so I succeed. You manage to keep your balance. Take card 32. Where are you? 32. 32. Okay. Now that the danger has passed, you search the body, wasting no time, and I find a metal gear that doesn't take space in my inventory. A small metal gear found on the body of a naval officer. +6 to sure. Alright, this doesn't matter. I'm allowed to keep one of these cards, so I will take my 6 cents. Yes. Yep. Alright, and this counts as a blue, so I have 2 blue cards, and I can hold a maximum of 5. Alright, so it says take a 32 card from the adventure deck available, discard this, and replace it with a 139 card. So this, when it says discard, it goes into the past, and it says replace it with 139. 6, 37, 38, 39. It says, judging by the insignias on his jacket, this man was once a French naval officer. Despite being worn and faded, you can still make out a name. FT-16 La Rochelle, probably the ship to which the man was assigned. Unfortunately, there's nothing else worthwhile on it. So, we've exhausted that. You know, it has that no arrow, no looky thing. So, I'm done with that. I guess I'll explore up here, discard 1 card to just pull out 18. 18. You have reached the northern end of the island. You have no idea how much time it would take you to reach an area with more abundant resources, but one thing is certain. If you stay on this barren slab of rock, you are bound to starve. Alright, it has more. The many reefs that surround the island would surely wreck any craft trying to approach or leave. However, you might be able to swim through them. The sea is calm right now, but this is not time to be reckless. Oh, I only need 2 stars? That's not bad. But 3 plus. I need to draw at least 3 cards. I don't have anything to help me swimming. I've had stuff help me swimming in the past. But I'm going to try that, and I'm going to be overly cautious because I have a fire that I can build someplace else when I eventually get through. So I'm going to take 4 cards. This is me being overly cautious. I don't want to die. Alright. Which I was... 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 successes from that. Oh, 5 successes, because I can't count. So, had I taken 3, I probably would have been fine. Actually, if I would have taken... I would have to take at least 3. So I can take one of these. Oh, look, another fire. A club. So they have a couple cards where you can discard it to get a free success, which are pretty cool. There's a club, which I might take. Knowledge is power. You get more experience. Take 1... for each other knowledge is power card, blah, blah, blah. So that's good. Fire. And we'll take the club. Alright, I succeed, so I draw card 25. 25. There's nothing written on it, and it says after swimming out a couple of 100 feet, you notice a particularly roaring fin crest above the waterline. Almost immediately, it turns and begins rushing towards you. Sprint back. So, if I had to do that, or if one character is injured, I have to draw 2 cards to get a +4 success. Oh, I'm gonna draw 4 cards. This is not gonna be good for me. But I'm doing awesome with my card drawing. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, so I succeeded. Okay, so that's good. That's good. Ooh. So cards I can keep. Bolas. You get a lot. It's one-time use, but you get a lot of stars. It's good for hunting and attacking. That is really good. I think I'm gonna keep that. I have a raft. I want a raft. I mean, it's a freaking raft, right? And plus, this allows you to bump up some of those like sailing stuff if they give you the option. Cost of an action -3, and then fighting. These cards will get shuffled back, so we will see them again. All right, so I succeed. If you reach the shore, in the nick of time. Each character takes a 103 card, and this goes into that. All right, so what we've learned is that swimming up north is not a good idea. Hey, whoa, wait, what? 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 Ooh. You reach the shore in the nick of time. Each character takes a 103 card. Oh, this is. I haven't seen this card. I thought I did. I was thinking of 03. Your heart jumps at even faintest suspicious sound. Anxiety mounts, and the constant danger has you fearing your life more than ever. I am now frightened. And we have that symbol. You have to do a mind check to get rid of this. Wow. 3. Anyways, so whenever we see this symbol, that's about the action cards. And I have total, including this, 3. So that means I have to discard 3 action cards. And I keep this frightened until it's gone. So that's awful. Alright, so we've exhausted this area, so it's time to go back down. So discard 1 card to go down. Alright, so I can either do this map action or look left. Let's do this map action. Flip over 1 card to do it, and I succeed because it costs 0 to do it. Focus! These things. It's camera. Alright, so we grab the 5 card, if I can. Find it. Some of these cards, there are so many of them. Like, there's tons of 003s. There's only 1 5 card. And it says, you stand before a nearly 50-foot high rocky peak. The view from up there must be quite interesting. It disables the map action, and I can climb. So, if I can draw 1 or more cards and climb, I don't have any fancy things to help me climb, but if I get 2 successes, something awesome happens. So let's draw 2 cards. Of course, I fail, because I didn't get a full star. But I can keep this. Ooh, I am frightened, so that's good. And as long as I get a success, I can get rid of my frightened status. Alright, so you fall to the unforgiving, stony ground below. Each character involved takes a 104 card. I am killing myself. And this is another injured card. Has another one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I discard 4 cards. I'm gonna need to eat soon. Yeah, that was 4. Alright. Oh, I need to heal up and eat. We're doing it again. I was like, oh. Now, let's do it again. We'll draw 2 cards again. Hooray! This time, 1 card had 2 on it. Snowshoes, so snow can happen. But I have full, so I'm not going to take any. Oh, this card is so good, though. I'm gonna get rid of my club and keep the Valiant Hearts. It says you may discard this result to get 2, and then you take a 1/1 card. I don't know what the 1/1 card does, but doesn't matter right now because I succeeded and I get to take 26. Finally, you make it to the top of the rocky peak. The ocean stretches as far as the eye can see in every direction. This volcanic island is only about half a mile long, and for what you have seen, the resources look too scarce for you to survive here more than a few days. So I discard this because it says discard this after you succeed. So you can do some actions twice. It's a temporary card. It says, you notice a path in the south apparently free of any jets of steam. Constantly looking for an easier means of access, you carefully walk back down from the peak. Banish the terrain card you are standing on and replace it with card 10. So this card is banished. Banished, so it's never coming back. And replace it with a 10. So, there is only 2 10s. There is a green one and the gold one. So the gold one is pretty hard. And since this had the timepiece, this goes away. So, but it did create another fog of war for us to potentially look at. Dun. So this is what we're looking at right now. And they say, like, if you're running out of space, you can always just throw it. Like, I don't need this anymore. I could just throw this in the past, and it wouldn't hurt the game one bit. I don't have a whole lot of cards, but I know this island, so I'm just going to go here. Once again, it's no actions, no action points. Weaverfish. The weaverfish is hiding in the muck, and you just happen to see it at the very last second. Beware of stepping on its spines, poisonous dorsal fin. I need eyeball tests. I don't have any eyeball helping. I need 1 success, otherwise bad stuff will happen. Alright, so the red explosion things, it means all characters have to do it. So everybody on that tile involved in this would have to do this action. So that's a lot of cards going there. Alright, so I will take, you know what, I'll just take 1 card. And I was successful. I got 1 star, so I do not get hurt. So this goes into the past. And I flip over card 104. Where are you, 104? Oh, so many 3s. Alright. 104 is another piece of the island. Dun dun dun. This movement's a lot more. So if you notice, the starting place, the movement cost does not cost anything to move. Move, cost. So I'm going to move down here. And since we have a new place, I must flip over the 1. I am going to get rid of these and just throw them in the past, because we're not going to need them. And we're right here. So this is what we're looking at. This is the board. Yes. All right. I'm going to go explore this for free action. Spider bite. Your calf is itching uncomfortably. Examining it, you notice a nasty red spot. You must have been bitten by a spider. You can only hope it has not laid eggs under your skin. Only the active player is forced to do this action. I must do a medical check and get 2 stars. I will take 2 cards. And I get none. No. I only get 1 star. So, eggs under your skin, certainly not possible. Banish this. Alright, so this card's banished now. Totally, there's no way the spider can bite you and put eggs underneath your skin, right? That's not possible. So it's logical to be like, screw that. You don't know what you're talking about. You know, spiders don't lay eggs to their mouth. What are they? Alien? Alright, 6. There's no smoke here, some moss, and even a few bamboo. Like kings. Bamboo like kings. I can't read. Grow in this area. Alright, so I'm going to spend 2 actions to move over here. Alright, so I don't have bamboo. So these are resources. That means if I had a card that requires bamboo to build, like this shovel, if I took this build action, I would get -1 to drawing cards for the shovel. Focus. But I don't have anything, so alright, I'm going to spend 1 card to do eyesight. And that is taking card 12. It says, from the few tracks you spot on the ground, it seems that a small animal was recently here. Alright, so I no longer can spot, but I can hunt. So I've done this before, this campaign, clue, whatever. So I know this was the hunting spot, and this is how you get food back. Let's hope that I successfully do it. Alright, so I have to draw 2 cards. Before they do that, I'm going to use this ability. Look at the top 2 cards of the action deck. It's free. Put them back in any order, either top or bottom, top of it or bottom. Oh, then put back in any order, either on top or bottom. So this goes in discard. I draw the top 2. Oh. Put them back in any order, either both on top of it or both on the bottom. So I can only use the target thing. So this is definitely one to put on the bottom. Oh, you can't see. This is definitely one to put on the bottom. This one is only going to be 1 star. And so the more stars I get, the more food I can get, which you don't know that yet. So I'm going to do that. And now I'm going to draw 2 cards. And I got 3 stars. So that was really good. 3 stars. I only get 1 card through. But you'll see what I'm doing. So there's a couple of 30 cards. 30 card. Stone-eating crab. You spot a kind of large gray and red crab with short, flat pincers that do not really look like a threat. Take 2. Oh. So, alright, depending on the number of successes, you take 1. Reveal them. If at least one involved character is bloody, I am not bloody, you must discard 1 of these cards without the keyword predator. This does not have predator. Basically, you can find monsters that will try to kill you, or creatures, and you have to deal with them instead of getting goods. If you're bloody, choose 1 of the remaining cards. So even if you got a lot of stars, you can only take 1 card and return all the other cards back to the box. But I get to take 2. So that's just for this 30 card. But I get to take 2 001 cards, which is good, and you'll see why as soon as I can find it. All right. So I take 2 001 cards, and this gets put in the past. Alright, so I got 2 001 cards, and that's meat, meat, meat. This is eating is good. It randomly takes 3 cards, 6 if you have a fire resource, from the discard pile and shuffle them back into the deck. So you have to eat to get cards back. There are other ways to get cards back, but these are my first official cards that have dice and limitations I've actually made. So you can see right there, there's 2. Here's the rest of my cards. I'm about to make fire. So you can hunt multiple times. So I'm going to use the fire action. Oh, no. Alright, unfortunately I have to waste 1 of these. I'll waste 1 crab to take 3 cards. And so once return this goes back to the deck. Once I eat it, I'm trying to put it towards the back. Alright, so I shuffle this, the discard pile. You see the discard pile right there, it's empty. I give it a little quick shuffle, and I take 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. Discard pile goes back here, and then I shuffle that, so now I have 4 cards. So, man, it's going to take all my cards just to make a fire. Yeah, I wasted cards on a shark. And, yeah. All right. So to make the fire. So takes two cards, 2 actions. I don't have any wood and I don't have any leaves, so that sucks. But it takes 2 cards, so I'll take 2 cards to do that. And then I have a fire, so I put the 1 on it, but I'm immediately going to build the fire. So that's 2 more cards to build a fire. So now this, oh yeah, and then it says discard this card. So put a fire figure into play on the terrain. So I have fire there. This card gets discarded. Now I have fire. So now I'll use this action, 0 cards, and I get to draw 6. And then I get to return this. So I have 0 action cards, so now with this I'll have a total of 6. So you can see how easily and quickly you could run out of energy because you're stressing yourself to do everything. Granted, if you play it multiple times, like myself, I knew that going up north was kind of pointless. At least, not completely. I mean, you can get that gear, which I have not used. All right. I have not used the gear in any play session. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I have 6 action deck card. All right, let's go hunt again, because you know what? I am going to use this card with my hunt. So that's going to give me a guarantee 2, and I get to take a 101. That's in the results step. You're not in the results step. So take 2 cards and count up. Wow, 3. Really? 3. Frick. Ugh. Because you don't. This is my results. 3.5 stars. So I guess it goes on my discard. I'm going to take another fire. So I get to take 130 card. And I hope it's not an awful creature of doom. There, 30. It is an awful creature of doom. Strange Cephalopod. 3-foot-long creature of tentacles and stumpy legs tries to bite you. I must fight it. I only get to draw 1 card and hope that it's a 2. Hey, look, I didn't even get a full star. Creature sinks its small teeth into your calf after player takes a 104 card. Great. And then this thing gets discarded. I take a 104 card. I also have to take another card. Of course. Alright, well, I need to take a 101 card from the previous specialty exertion. And it says, you are feeling increasingly drowsy and struggling to stay awake. You cannot wait to find a safe, comfortable place to rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, alright, this is probably going to be the end of me. I'm tired. I have to draw a total of 5 because my character in those 3 cards plus this card is 5. I only have 3 of these cards, so I have to discard them. So everything gets discarded. I have no active draw pile. So I draw 2 cards from here. If either of those 2 are skulls, the game instantly is over. I'm going to try to shuffle. Alright. Not over? Not over. Alright, so, but these don't go in the discard pile since it's all active discard. It's just all goes in there. Oh, I forgot to take the bow from that success thing. So I have a bow that just takes so much. Oh. Alright, I'm going to try to get rid of my frightened state by using my Nerves of Steel card. So it's 0. I'm going to draw 2 cards, and I instantly die. So I made no progress in this. Now, they say when you play the game, when you're setting up, you can either do one of 2 things. You can either take the 650 card to play on hardcore mode, or the 777 card to play on easy mode. This is rummaging through your satchel. You find a small wooden statue at the bottom. This says Major Relic. This item says, if you lose the game, you may banish this to apply the following effect. Just as you're about to pass away, you suddenly hear a mocking laugh coming from nowhere and feel a wave of renewed energy flow through you, bringing you back to life. The continent does not seem to be done with you yet. Shuffle all the cards in discard pile back into the action deck and continue your adventure. So this lets you continue playing the game. And we can do that for a little bit, and I'll play recklessly for funsies. So I can go back to this island. I think I will do that. Oh, then I have this 1 of 4 that even maybe discard more cards, which I will do now, since I'm quote-unquote restarting. Oh, I didn't get to draw my second card for Nerves of Steel. I only drew 1. Oh, because I only wanted 1. No, I wanted 2. And I failed. Alright. Alright, so now I get to discard 6 red hand cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because I am beaten, broken, and just not doing well at all. So, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to spend 2 action cards to go that way. As I completely readjust and break the camera. So I'm going to be here. So I'm leaving my fire behind, which is not the best of ideas. But I can't move the fire with me. I don't think there's a torch or anything like that. So, I'm going to use 1 action to use the map thing. And the map thing says grab a card 108. Grab cards can be hard. It says you gaze upon the wide, endless ocean. The surface rough and choppy, and the salty spray from the waves is enough to tell you that the water is freezing. Swimming away will certainly not be easy. On the other hand, if you stand here for more than a few days, you will likely die. So that takes away. So I can swim away. So there's 2 things I can do. I can either use 5 action points to build this raft, which lets me add 5 to this 23. So if I succeed to swim away, I go to 23. I reveal a 23 card. This will add 5 to that. And plus, it would make it easier because I get 3 stars, something like that. Oh, I have another fire, so I can... I'll spend 2 action points right now. Or action points, cards. And I have the ability to make a fire. You know what? I'm going to go to 23 and I'm going to just try to swim and not use the raft. I think I used the raft last time. So, I have to draw at least 3. 5? Let's do 5. Sure, let's go with 5. Right? Yeah. Alright. That's great. Oh, sorry about that. This stand is really weird. Alright, so that's 1.5 successes. 2 successes out of we didn't get 9. Oh look, another curse. 2.5 successes. Alright, so all those go in discard. Do I have anything good here? No. Might need to get the raft. It says, despite all your efforts, the strong current constantly sweeps you back to the islets. Each player takes a 101 card. You're feeling increased. This is another tired card. At least it doesn't have the get rid of cards card. Except for those that are tired. Am I already tired? I am already tired. Whoops. Totally cheating. They take a 102 card instead. Return all the cards on the board. Whoa. Whoa, what? Alright, 102 card. I'm freezing. If you have the fire resource, return this. I have to have the fire burning. Return all the cards on the board. Return all the cards on the board and in the past. Put a 17 card into play. Each player. Whoa. I have no. Alright. This is completely new. 17. A 30-foot-long submarine is hanging from 2 cranes, keeping it from above the surface of the water. This is not a sudden sight. So I'm now on 17. All these cards return. Oh wow, this is a lot of effort to return all this stuff. Oh wait, actually I have the card in the wrong place. Alright, so all these get shuffled and put back here. So I guess that's, the difference with Vanish and Past. Like, stuff can return to the past. And take all these cards out. I've never had to do this before, so this is something completely new. So we have 4, 6, and this is kind of annoying to start this mid-game though. 5, 6. Ah. 7. Dun, 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 dun. 18. They're all from the same place, so it's kind of like cards that have just like one person do it all. 12. $30, 31. Almost done. 139 cents. All right. All right. So we are now here. We got swept aside. This card was 8. Detour. It's over. Alright. That's a new board. We have a submarine. We have a prey spot. And we have a map spot. Let's do the map spot for 1 card. 0 successes. 164. So it can be a little tedious to look for the cards. 164. You gaze upon the wide, endless ocean surface rough, choppy, blah, blah, blah. Swimming away will not be easy. On the other hand, if you stay here for more than 3 days, you will likely die. For swimming, wow, I need 11. Sure. I don't have any food. Sure, let's look at the submarine. So, do that. Submarine, no cards. 22. People have been on this island. Dun, dun, dun. 22. The crane supports the submarine above the water by chains attached to either end. Each chain runs through a pulley located on the top of the crane. Lowering and submerging the submarine obviously requires great precision and skill. I must use one. I mean, I don't have to do this, but I want to choose to do it, which has a lock. I have to use one card. I have to have one success, which I successful. And that the chains do not break. The submarine is back in the water. Return the terrain card you are standing on and replace it with 24. Discard this. So this train goes away. Oh, it says return the train card. Replace it with 24. It says 24. The submarine is in the water. Now set off as quickly as you can. You never know what could happen. And I discard this. So now I'm here. So I can investigate for free and look at card 37 with the submarine. Because, I mean, how hard could it be to drive a submarine, right? Stepping into the submarine, you see that the former occupants apparently took anything of use. Alright, entering the control room, you immediately check the remaining fuel. All you have to do is restart the engine and you'll be able to leave this blasted place. Now, you notice something down there. Look. So we need 2 screws and 2 wrenches, gears in order to use that. So we'll explore this prayer marker. Let's get rid of 1 card. And then I draw 39. You come across 2 marked graves, very likely the crew of the submarine. The ground here is very rocky, and whoever tried to bury them here appeared to have attempted to dig a proper grave before giving up and covering the bodies with stones in form of cairns. You meditate for a while, pondering the demise of the deceased while hoping to avoid their fate. Immediately after this is revealed, take a 666 card, because that always spells good news. And after resolving, apply the following. Alright. Veil of fog mysteriously forms around the grave. Here's my 666 card. It coalesces into a thin, frail form that points a ghostly finger in your direction. The spirit lets out a harsh, shrill cry before vanishing as inexplicably as it appeared. I must do a brain check. 0 more cards. I will draw 1 and need 1 success, and I failed. You are quite shocked by this sinister vision. Each involved character takes a 103 card. As I further fall into injury, hysteria, crazy, just everything is wrong with me. Alright, 103. Your heart jumps at the fantasy, blah, blah, blah. Frightened. Good. Good, it didn't have that. I need to get rid of some of these, but I don't know if I have the actions to. And this goes away to past. Alright, this is after resolving the effects. For each skull card in the discard pile, randomly take 2 cards from the discard pile and shuffle them back into the action deck. So that's good. I have... Don't tell me I have 0. No, I have 1, 2... You can't see, because... What are cameras good for, right? Stand you up a little bit. My apologies. Alright. So, 1, 2 cards. So that means for every one we get to take 2 random cards from here. So, and shuffle them back in action. So that means we get 4 cards. So that's another way something bad, awful happens. But I get benefit from it. Ooh. That is mighty fine. We'll see what's going to happen next. Alright, so we're at 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. So, new to this card, that has the wood. There is a wood resource. So, I have a raft. I have a raft and a bow. And I can make them happen, which I'm going to make them happen. And it's not going to cost me that much because wood. Wouldn't you know it? Ha! Ha! It's funny, I swear. Alright, so we have the raft. Look at this. It takes 5 cards, but if I have wood, it's -3. So I only take 2 cards. And now I have 4 raft uses. Alright, and bow, 3, but -2 for the wood, so it's only 1 card. And I have 4 bow uses, so that's good for hunting. And I will spend 1 action. I have to have a success, though. Fail. 1 action again. There we go. Did fire twice in a row. Oh, whoops. I failed that fire. Discard this card. Wah wah. No, discard. So no fire, so I'm not getting rid of my freezing. So let's get on a boat and go travel. Alright, so I'm going to use my boat. So I need to draw at least 7 cards. Oh gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But because I'm using the boat action, these brown versions, when they have brown there, it says you can only use that when it has that action going on, obviously. So I have 7 cards plus this success here, and I used it once, so we're taking it down to 3. Alright, so let's look at successes, maybe. Where do I even put you, Cameron? Curse, 1 star. Of course, I'm doing that right. Alright, let's do this. Okay, we got 3 stars. For 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We only got 9. We needed 11. It's pretty awful. Gotta get to keep one of these. I don't. Sure, I'll keep this one. Alright, let's try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm being incredibly reckless. Let's do 8 cards. And I will tick my raft from 3 down to 2. It's hard to swim. 1.5. 1.5 still. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Swimming is hard. What the heck? Let's try this again. It's all or nothing. I'm being incredibly reckless. This is not how you survive on an island. Don't follow me. I will kill you all. So we have 4 cards. We'll just flip them over. Oh, curse. Oh, this curse has to go there. So that's what we have so far. So, if any of these cards I pull up is a curse, the game's over. Again. The only thing I could see is like you don't get a good draw or whatever. I would hate to see people like farming, like hunting spots just for food. I mean, you can only hold so many cards, but still, I can see that being an issue. I mean, you can only hold, when you're playing solo, you can only have 4 dice cards, and you can only have 4 advanced skills, I believe they're called. Anyway, so I drew 4 cards. I'm going to draw 8 because why not? 5, still nothing. So that's 5th card. 6, awful. 7, 8. So what we have here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gosh. I have one more try for my raft, and since this is all discard now. The last time I played, I had much better success. I'm curious what's going to happen. I'm just very curious what happens when I do this 11. This is my last chance with the raft, though. So another thing I was unsure of is if I use up all the raft uses, I think I get to keep it because it doesn't have a discard this after use like most other cards. So I feel like I do have to rebuild it. But let's do another 8 for my final raft use. 1, and I instantly die. He got cursed. Pretty good detail on these guys. Oh man, that is 7th Continent. I did this. This was a horrible game. Not game. Round. I mean, mine. I don't know if other versions will, but we did have a magnifying glass. It did come with magnifying glass, so I could use them. Anyways, but I feel like the cards are pretty decently written, decently sized. These dice are tiny though, so some people like, oh my gosh, they're so huge. Like no, these dice and miniatures are really tiny. I'm trying to see if I have anything right now to measure. This is like a regular size die, so you can see in comparison. But yeah, that will do it for 7th Continent. Oh, I do really awful. I mean, there's so many cards, and like we barely touched those stacks. I mean, last game I was all over the place with cards, but there's a lot of cards here. It depends on how far you go. I definitely could see wanting more of these cards because they definitely add flavor. But the further along you get, the more those cards are. Sorry, stretching. But yeah, I find this is really great fun. It's hard and it's got the survival aspect that most video games are doing nowadays. Like, oh, how long can you survive? Obviously, for me, not that long. It's pretty easy. Oh, also, the big thing that they're pushing out is that you can save the game. So if you manage to survive longer than an hour, they have rules about saving games, which, it says basically, since there's all these, there is a save tab, bookmark. And they say, hey, I'll pull up the save thing so everything got mixed up. They have cards like, hey, since you can move around the board fine, it's just a matter of like keeping what cards you have right now. And everything's connected to each other. So you just put these behind this divider, put this behind this divider, and when you come back, all that really matters when you come back is this, just what tile you're on. Because then you're like, oh, just pull out 15. Oh, just pull out this. Well, I take it back. Everything that matters is It matters what tile you're on, what items you have. There's even a separate divider for how many action cards you have, so you don't get to start from fresh with a big old deck, but you get to what's it called? It'll say like, oh, here's the discarded ones, here's the not. But yeah, I hope they have more mechanics. I assume so, but I hope they have more mechanics that sort out the whole don't spend all your time just like stocking up on food. But as you saw, I went to the grave and I got more cards, and I have made it off this island and made it to a different island, and I believe they like, hey, 14 cards. You get to take 14 cards from your previous one, from the discard, and put it in. That's significant, especially if there's one or two. But like this sailing, it's crazy. I've never found the other gear for this, so I'm very curious what happens then. But hopefully I'll find out. But we'll see. Yes, so this has been 7th Continent LivePlay. Hope you enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed playing it. I need to fix that alignment, but if you like this more, if you want to know when the next one is happening, be sure to sign up for our Patreon. Everybody, I always send a message out to people who are playing, who are Patreon supporters, and let them know when live events are going to happen beforehand. Here's all the minis. The minis are Kickstarter exclusive. But like, what's funny is this game, they said that this game is probably not going to go to retail, but then what's the point of having Kickstarter exclusive minis if you can only get it on Kickstarter? The other thing, instead of minis, they have these, which are basically cardboard standees of all the characters, so this was my character. I'm not even showing you because I don't have the right screen up. This was my character. There we go. And then they have fires. They also have these tokens. I forget what they're for, but like everybody's face is on one. And each character is supposed to have a special ability. A plate of HP Lovecraft. I don't know if he's exclusive to the first one or not, but I played as him once, and that was alright. Every character has their own 5 special cards. So he's more of a fighter, which didn't come across really much fighting until it was too late. Yeah, but once again, if you're a Patreon supporter, you'll find out when this happens, before this happens, and hopefully other fun stuff in the future. And also NT Board Games, wherever, and on like Instagram, social media, I gotta do all those. So yeah, this has been 7th Continent. Hope you enjoyed it. The Kickstarter is running now. It'll have the base game, the expansion. Eventually, they'll put all the expansions from the previous one, including the cool-looking sandworm and like tornadoes and stuff like that. But this game is fun. I enjoy it. They have 4 other curses. I think there's a total of 2, 3. Yeah, there's 3 other curses, and then the expansion will add 2 more, so that's a total of 6 curses. So I've yet to try any other one. It might start in a new land, it might not. Who knows? That's the fun part. Anyways, that'll do it for today. Hope you enjoyed.